Yes. So we've spoken before many times, and I've posted a quick chat that we had before when you had released Série, and that was really cool. But like, I wanted to sit.
Check that out.
Yeah, and it was really good, man. I really enjoyed that side of you, and I think what I want to do is, again, I think that we're gonna have a lot of these sessions, man, because I feel like there's a lot about you that people want to know. And I think there's a lot about you that people are trying to know about you through your music, but maybe they're not understanding fully. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. There's some lyrics like I'm not writing that, or even if I write some, people like sometimes they don't understand because I kind of like create my own words. You know what I mean? Or like my own meaning to this. To the thing I use to talk with, you know what I mean?
Yes. And so do you prefer to have like a world that you created or a world that the listeners can relate to? What do you prefer?
Actually, like I don't prefer something. It's just about depends on the vibe, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just depends on the vibe. Sometimes I write simple. Like, for example, like Vitamin DZ, it was like simple. Like the writing is like kind of simple. I didn't went that far, you know what I mean? Like just so people can get it, you know what I mean? Like easily. What was
your motivation with Vitamin?
Because I didn't have that much time to make it like difficult, like to make it crazy ass lyrics, because I had like to record that shit up and go straight outside and find a good spot to clip it, and then I went back to the hotel. I slept like for 1 hour or two. Then I woke up. I went straight to the airport. Did the last video like for the fans and everything, and then went back to Morocco. So yeah.
Wow. And what was the motivation behind that one? What was the motivation behind Vitamin DZ?
Honestly, I was shocked because like I knew I had people listening to my music like in Nigeria, but not that much. You know what I mean? Like not that much, because I spoke to some people like they know everything about me, like everything. It's like they're here in Moroccan. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that was crazy. And even at the stage when I dropped Pablo, like everyone went crazy. You know what I mean? Like everyone knew the song. I was shocked. I was really shocked, and I knew I didn't have that much time, like to visit the country, to visit the city, to get close to this tradition and everything. So I had to do something to pay back the respect. You know what I mean? Okay,
I like that, man. Yeah, no doubt. I respect that.
And I think I'm gonna start doing like for each country I'm gonna go. Like if I go to France, I'm gonna do some like Vitamin FR. You know what I mean?
I like that. You should go do Vitamin LB.
Then I'm gonna do like Vitamin UK. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You should do Vitamin LB when you have a chance.
Huh?
Vitamin LB.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it. Maybe I'm gonna do it this year.
Oh my God! If you go to Lebanon, bro, I will meet you there.
Right?
Wallah, I swear to God.
I sounds cool, bro. I'm gonna let you know if I go.
Would you ever come to North America, US, Canada?
This year, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it because of the schedule. But
yeah.
If I got some free time, I'm gonna do it this year. But next year is definitely. I'm definitely coming to North Africa.
North America. I'll go to North Africa.
I'm sick. I'm really sick.
It's all good. All right, let me ask you a really simple one that actually I haven't asked you before, surprisingly. Why did you go with ElGrandeToto? Who is ElGrandeToto?
That's a long story. Well, Toto was actually my neighbor is like my big brother, you know what I mean? He was a dealer before, but just a simple dealer. It was big ass dealer, you know what I mean? It was selling coke, drugs, everything, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then he quit. And since my name is Taha, everyone is calling me like Little Toto, you know what I mean? Because I live like right next to him. And Grande, I put it why? Because and Toto was not only for my neighbors, it was also for Totorina. You know Totorina. It's like a Totorina.
Totorina, no.
It's like a big ass mafiosi in Italy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah,
nice.
So
that's sick.
There's the 2 points why I said it, and Grande, because it's like Alexandre le Grand.
Ouais, c'est sûr.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In that way, like there's only one Grande, like one greatest one. Yo,
you wanna hear something that's sick actually between me and you? Lucky Loush comes from Lucky Luciano, which was the mob boss in Chicago, and that's one of my motivations for my name.
Okay. Nah, Mafia is a big ass inspiration, bro. I
agree.
Into that.
I agree.
That shit, but
that's sick. So how different is Toto from Taha? Are they two different people or are they the same?
I'll say Toto is more aggressive.
Okay. And Taha is
too much. Tranquille, comme d'hab, tel le bord.
Okay.
زوين. بمشي. Toto zihou.
Toto zihou. I like that. Yes. Okay. J'ai compris. So I noticed that sort of when you first started, with your journey, there's something really exciting and passionate and attractive about being the underdog, about being the wild card, about being the guy that nobody is talking about. And then suddenly you start seeing success, and then you start working with companies and you start working with brands. And then suddenly Sony Middle East is calling you and Warner Brothers and all this shit. And it's like, what do you think is better in terms of staying passionate or going into the mainstream? Like, how do you balance those two things out, especially right now in your place?
I don't give a fuck about mainstream. Like, if I do something mainstream, I do it just because it's the vibe. Just because I had the vibe to do it.
Okay.
I don't calculate that much.
What about for the check? If the check is right, would you do it for the mainstream? If the money's right?
Like a full album with full mainstream shit?
I'm talking, you get a major come through and they supply you with everything you need, but they may have a say in the creative conversations that happen. No deal. My
Never.
My okay.
I do what I want to do.
But what about government partnerships, departments?
I don't give a fuck.
Zero.
I don't give a fuck about that, cause I don't need that.
Like sometimes.
Honestly, I don't need that. When I needed that, when I was looking for I don't know, artist card, a lot of shit, nobody was there. But since now I'm popping out and like having 1 million views and shit, it's just like everyone want to collaborate and shit. Nah, I don't feel to, you know what I mean? I'm saying that I've been from zero to here on my own with my team and shit, with our creativity, with our own, genre avec nos propres moyens, tu vois?
Ouais, je comprends. Of course. So, okay.
Gouvernement, pas de gouvernement. Moi déjà, je comprends rien à la politique. J'ai pas le temps. J'ai pas l'âge. I'm 23, bro. I don't wanna waste my time. It's not every time in life you're gonna be 23. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste my time in politics.
But it's not.
Just to be honest.
But it's not uncommon for in our culture to be politically active at a very young age. You know what I mean? Like there's kids in Morocco, there's kids in Lebanon, there's kids in Jazair. They know about politics at a very young age. So if you're going to be somewhat of a role model, if you want, I'm not saying you have to be. I'm just saying that if you end up in that spot as a role model, do you feel as though perhaps you can use your platform for, I'm not talking about working with the government, but I've never really heard any stance politically that you have in terms of society or how people are living, or, you know, how not so much corruption, but sort of how the system is affecting people. You know what I mean?
If everything is straight, yeah, just has to be straight. You know, government, all the governments ain't straight. I'm talking about the whole world.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree. Okay.
Like when you see a stable, like straight government, it doesn't look cool. You know, you're getting doubts. You're like, oh, everything is cool now. There's a problem. No?
Oh,
So, yeah.
for sure. Like they say, تحت الطاولة.
Huh?
تحت الطاولة, under the table.
تحت الطاولة. Wow.
Wait. It's true, man. But, you know, and I respect that, but you have, I believe your father was in the military, right?
No, it was with the Marines.
He was with the Marines. And so what were...
Senator.
Okay, with the Navy.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he have his own, like, did he bring the politics home with you guys? Did you hear about it a lot, like, à la maison?
He doesn't vote.
Really?
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about politics. It's not a culture, you know. They didn't grow up with politics.
Okay.
Like, at all. You know what I mean? The only politics I know is French politics.
In France?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think I know more. I think I know more minister in France with Morocco.
Okay.
Just to be honest.
Interesting.
Because I didn't grow up with the Moroccan TV. I grew up with the French TV. I grew up with a mom who lived in France. You know what I mean? So.
And so, how did you learn English?
Huh?
How did you learn English?
Music, movies, and I had a cousin in Calgary. When she used to come back home, I used to practice with her.
Nice.
You know, just somehow. Then there was school, but when I was in school, I was able to talk English. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you ever plan to include a little bit more English in your work?
Not as much as French.
Okay, so you would rather go French first?
Nothing's impossible. You know, I can, like, if I want to, I can do a whole English song. You know what I mean? Like, it will not be a problem. Just that I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It depends. Everything depends on the vibe. It always depends on the vibe.
Yeah, I just feel like, so in my experience, like, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I'm trying to build bridges between the East and the West, and I'm trying to unite the cultures together. But one of the easiest ways that I can do that is when artists choose to sprinkle in. I'm not saying like completely let it influence your music, but like give people a doorway so that they can at least open up to the rest of the verses, to the rest of the lyrics. You know what I mean? Because then we can do that. Like, but now, like, honestly, my current like location, like, that I'm sibling is France. Yeah.
So that's where I can bring. I think that's where I can be, like, more powerful.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and it works in French too. I like it when you do it in French too. It adds a little bit more diversity, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
your songs are great, and I don't need to like feed your ego a little bit more. You already know how I feel. I've done many episodes. I've put you on my roster. You're A+ for me. But I like going on emotional journeys, and a couple of songs that took me on those journeys. The first song was Smuhat. And then the second song was Verses, which was, I believe, Helmet Ado 2.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about like the emotions that you bring into the booth with you, and like where you get the passion?
Smuhat, it was like I was angry. Smuhat, like honestly, I don't like to talk about that song. I don't even play it on stage.
Really?
I don't play it on stage. Like in my whole career, I played it like 4 times.
Why? Bro, you don't understand, man. Like Smuhat, listen, and this is just coming from my own personal sort of story. Like people relate to their own relationships with their fathers or their own relationships with their mothers, and it's like you may be impacting a lot of people by perhaps, you know, including it in your shows.
I know, but it's Smuhat is like, it's like a big ass pain. It's like something you just throw away. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you found some closure with that song.
Yeah, but my favorite song ever, like I dropped until now, is Verses. Verses is my favorite.
Bro,
Verses is my favorite.
I try my best not to be a fan of like the music that I listen to. Like I try to be as objective as I can, but like when it comes to Verses, it has been a song on my Spotify for you know, at least 2 years now, and it's so like every time I hear it, I discover something new, like a new angle or a new sort of message in it.
It happens to me too, bro. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, I put that shit like too well. Like I said that there was a good flow. There was like I'm discovering it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously you worked with XCEP on that one.
Yeah.
My man, I love that guy, man.
XCEP producer. And that is cool, bro.
Yeah, he's good, man.
I ever met.
So,
one of the best people I ever met in the marketing industry, like in the whole industry, is like one of the rare persons that I love. I really love. You know what I mean? Like I love hanging with him. I love just talking to him. Working with him, everything. He's a good guy. He's really a good guy.
I agree, man. XCEP gave me my first interview like over a year ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's the best, man. Anjad, I love this guy.
Nah, he's crazy. But you gotta hang out with him.
Oh, hell yeah.
You gotta hang out. You gotta come over here and hang out.
Yes, I do. I need to do that soon, man. Like, I may be knocking on your door when I go to Morocco.
Yeah, you gotta come, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll line it up. Our schedules. I gotta make sure you're there, and XCEP is there. Maybe Shobi, Mad, the whole gang. You know.
Yeah.
I know we kind of talked about this last time with Hors Série, and we talked about the industry a little bit. How do you? What's your feeling right now on the industry? Are you happy with it? Do you think it's fucked up? No.
Wait, it smells like
it's burning. What's burning?
It smells like it's burning.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. You good?
Might be the craziest interview we ever had.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep this. I think I might keep this in. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna make another pause because my cousin just got out.
Okay.
She's from Canada too.
She's from Canada?
Yeah, she lives in Canada.
No, where?
My cousin. Je suis en plein interview, laisse tomber.
Oh my god.
She's my cousin from Canada. Hey.
How are you?
Good, you?
Good. Where are you from?
I live in Toronto.
Okay, excellent. I'm in Ottawa.
Oh, nice. I lived in Ottawa for like 6 months, maybe?
Did you like it?
No.
No.
It's good for party though, but like, yeah, not for growing.
I'm surprised you're not in Montreal. That's where all the Moroccans are.
My family is in Montreal. Actually, I grew up in Montreal.
Okay, there you go. That's better. What advice would you give to anybody thinking about entering the game or starting to rap, both in Morocco?
First thing, don't give a fuck about anybody. Like the first thing.
Yeah.
Second of all, if you're not sure, like 1,000% that you're gonna bring something new, and you're really like gonna make a mark, don't get to the industry. Don't waste time.
Okay.
No, time is money. DJ Cora said that to me. Time is money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, especially in Morocco, it's a fucking huge risk, you know, like to drop school, work, and everything for the music. So you gotta be like fucking smart.
You think it's hard to pop in Morocco?
It's easy and it's hard at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Alright, man.
So, yes.
I get it, bro. Alright, yo. Mr. Grande, Mr. Totito, thank you, my man. I love you, bro. Anjad, you're my boy.
My man.
Anjad,
Zihou gang.
that's Zihou gang. You want to give a shout out to the family?
Yeah. Big shout out to the Zihou family. We connected.
Yes, thank you, Taha. Anjad, you're my brother, man. I love you, bro.
No. Whatever you want, man. Whatever you want.
My man. Have a good night. Say hello to everybody, and we'll talk soon.
Alright. See you soon, my man.
Okay, Habibi.
Alright.
Peace.